Coming up on DITV, the cause of an Iowa family's death is revealed.
And later, the unexpected reason why an Iowa City pizzeria closed its doors.
We break down Iowa's matchup with the Ohio State Buckeyes this weekend.
And we also give you an inside look into Iowa's new midweek game pitching strategy.
Cloudy and some consistent cold weather. Find out more in weather.
All that and more coming up on this Friday morning edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now.
Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Becca Scadden.
And I'm Susanna Kloster.
We have more information on the Iowa family that died in a Mexican condo over spring break. Local Mexican authorities say that a rusty water heater emitted the toxic gas that killed the family while they slept. The police determined the rust corrupted the water heater, but the state attorney's office pushed that the cause has not been conclusively found. That investigation is ongoing.
Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds visited the Coralville Hy-Vee Thursday as a part of her 99-county tour. Reynolds spoke about new Iowa legislation expanding formal job training. Additionally, the governor responded to questions regarding school gun safety. Iowa City Councilor Mazir Salih attempted to ask Reynolds her stance on recent legislation affecting Iowa City's status as a sanctuary city. However, an unnamed individual unaffiliated with Reynolds stopped her from doing so.
Falbo's Pizza has closed its doors Thursday afternoon temporarily. A note in the door explained the unannounced closure. Quote, this establishment's owner, Barry, along with the entire Falbo's Corporation, has failed to pay employees and refuses to answer calls about this illegal failure. End quote. The Falbo's Pizza in Coralville remains open. However, it's unsure when the Iowa City location will reopen.
On March 14th, UI police found an anti-Semitic vandalization on the Unity Mural. UISG is exploring options to restore the pedestrian tunnel located on the west side of campus. DITV News reporter Gustavo Meyer has more.
Almost a month after knowledge that the Unity mural was vandalized was made public on March 14th, it has yet to be restored.
We're currently working with the official UIWA Office of Strategic Communication on a campaign that would basically educate about what students can do when acts like these occur.
UISG members are trying to find out the best strategy moving forward by also taking into account the original artist's intent.
We don't want to have the murals totally replaced and fixed if they aren't going to be up there for a longer period of time, because that's not fair for the artists. So I guess we just haven't acted on having them fixed because we're trying to figure out what's the timeline moving forward.
Abigail added that the reason the UISG hasn't acted sooner is simply because they are looking for a timeline on what the project will look like. UI police are still looking into this incident. Reporting from the Unity mural in Iowa City, this is Gustavo Meyer, DITV News.
If you have any more information, contact UI Police at 319-335-5022 or their website police.uiowa.edu. So Becca, it's looking like this weather has been the same for the past few weeks.
Yeah, I know we've seen cold temperatures, snow, rain, but no sunshine yet. Before we get into next week's weather, let's toss over to John in the weather studio. He has more on last year's hurricane season. John?
Thanks, guys. The 2017 Atlantic hurricane season saw 17 named storms, 10 hurricanes, and 6 major hurricanes. A major hurricane is classified as a hurricane that reached Category 3 or higher. The 3 major hurricanes that hit the United States were Hurricanes Harvey, Irma, and Maria. The estimated cost of damage that these 3 hurricanes inflicted amounts anywhere from $300 to $475 billion. Now, if you look at our map, obviously you see that Maria was the one that went straight through Puerto Rico. Irma was the one that went on the west coast of Florida, and Maria was the one that went, or Harvey, I'm sorry, was the one that went through on the southeast coast of Texas. Now, Colorado State University forecasts an above-average hurricane season for 2018. They predict that there will be 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 3 major hurricanes. Now, luckily, we won't have to worry about any hurricanes headed Iowa City's way in 2018. Speaking of Iowa City weather, it has been a little over 3 weeks since spring has started, and let's not kid ourselves, it hasn't really felt like spring here on campus. I wish I could tell you that the upcoming forecast consisted of mid-60s temperatures, but unfortunately that is not the case. This afternoon will bring cloudy skies with a high temperature of 32 degrees. Tonight, there will be partly cloudy skies with a low temperature of 16 degrees, so if you're going out tonight, put a warm coat on. Let's take a look at our extended forecast. Tomorrow will bring sunny skies with an afternoon high of 39 degrees and an overnight low of 22 degrees. On Sunday, expect snow, but just afternoon snow. The afternoon high temperature will be in the upper 30s and the overnight temperature will be in the low 30s. Mostly cloudy skies on Monday with afternoon high temperatures in the lower 40s and overnight low temperatures in the lower 20s. Tuesday brings mostly sunny skies with afternoon highs in the mid-40s and at night, lows in the lower 30s. Finally, on Wednesday, we're starting to see some actual springtime temperatures with afternoon highs in the lower 60s and overnight lows in the lower 40s. I'll admit, the low temperatures and snow caught me off guard, but obviously with next Wednesday's 60-degree temperature, we all have something to look forward to, and I hope that after Wednesday, we can say goodbye to this cold weather. That's all I have. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, John. Today, the Daily Iowan features UI alum David Olson. A law student turned CIA operative, Olson lived a life of espionage for 30 years. Some of his targets included, quote, Soviet KGB terrorists, narcotics traffickers, nuclear proliferators, and other threats to our nation's security, end quote. For the full in-depth story, pick up a copy of today's edition of the Daily Iowan newspaper.
A small Iowa town has announced an interesting deal. Mural is a small town with a population of 120 people and is offering free land to people willing to build a new home or business that is at least 1,200 square feet. Town Mayor Randy Baxter is making this great offer to increase the town's population. If it does not rise, Mural will no longer be considered a town.
Next week, the university is celebrating Islam Awareness Week.
I spoke with a member of the Muslim Student Association to see what they'll be doing to bring more insight of the Islamic faith to campus. For the Muslim Student Association in Iowa, Islam Awareness Week is all about coming together as a community and sharing what is special about the Islamic faith. Tartil Ali shared with me how important this week is for Muslims.
How peaceful our religion is and how it's not really about spreading hatred and terror amongst like our community. It's really about love and peace and like sharing, I guess, like our faith with others and letting them know that we're like friendly people.
Next week, MSA will be hosting multiple events for students to come celebrate, interact, and learn more about Islam.
We're more similar than you may think. I know a lot of people think that Islam is like this totally different religion than I guess the majority religion is Christianity. But there's a lot of things that are similar. Like the only difference basically is that you guys believe in Jesus being God's son, whereas we just believe in him as a prophet. But other than that, like we have a lot of similar teachings and lessons in Islam.
Reporting from the engineering building, I'm Susanna Kloster, DITV News.
We apologize for those technical difficulties. Susanna, it's a Friday in April, and you know what that means.
Baseball. Let's toss it over to Mary Kate and Zach with sports.
Thanks, guys. Welcome into our Hawkeye Baseball pregame show. I'm Mary Kate Herring, and joining me is the voice of Iowa Baseball, Zach Mackey. Zach, we are already 26 games into the season.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Already 26 games in, and this is kind of a chance where you can look at where you stack up, where you sit. The weather hasn't been that good, obviously, so you've been playing in the cold, but yet 2 Big Ten weekends in, got to be pretty happy where you sit.
Well, let's start it off. I mean, they had a huge series win against Illinois last weekend, and then a win against Grandview 4-2 on Wednesday. What are the positive takeaways that you have seen out of this team this far into the season?
Well, it was a really good Illinois team, ranked in the top 25 of the country, and yet it was 3 really good games. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even when you got down really big, down by 10 runs on Saturday, scored 7 runs in the 8th inning to bring it within 1. The tying run was out of the bases. This is a team that is going to fight, and they've been fighting until the very end. Picked up 2 games on the road. That's never easy in the Big Ten, especially against a top 25 opponent. And then you're winning the midweek games. Those are ones that you're supposed to win, and yet still able to get that win.
All right, well now, pitching-wise, Coach Heller has been trying to use these midweek games to get his bullpen some live action before heading into these important Big Ten weekends. First week, a little shaky, but by the end this week, we had 13 strikeouts. What do you like about the strategy of getting these guys in the game, even if it's just for an inning?
Well, I like it because these guys have to throw a bullpen anyway in the midweek, so why not throw them in a game-like situation, get them some confidence behind there whenever they get out there. And yet, it's a chance to get some guys who maybe aren't going to throw on the weekend, some game-like action. And it's been able to work. It's been able to do good things. No one's getting into a rhythm really as a pitcher, but yet you're throwing so many different guys out there. It's throwing off that offense right now, and teams have struggled with it.
Yeah, and all the guys talked about too after that game that they really like it just getting in before so they can get loose a little bit before these bigger games coming up. But here's what head coach Rick Heller had to say on his new midweek pitching game plan.
It was really big, and that's what we'd hoped for today. You know, we did it last week against Bradley, and it was kind of shaky in spots. But I felt like, you know, as we get into a routine of doing it, it's going to get better, and I didn't want to miss a week. So that's why we were really wanting to get this game in today, was to get those guys back out there, and you know that was way better for them than an inter squad in a batting cage. You know, at this point in the season, anytime you can get out here and see live competition, it's really good for you, and couldn't be more happy with how that game went. You know, 13 strikeouts, 1 walk, maybe 1 hit batter, no errors. Really pleased with how we played, and really happy with those pitchers.
Well, Ohio State now this weekend, currently sitting at 19-8 overall, 2-1 in the Big Ten. This is going to be yet another tough conference matchup for the Hawkeyes. The team is hitting at .309. The Buckeyes are 11th in the nation and first in the Big Ten in scoring. They also rank first in the conference in batting average, on-base percentage, runs scored, hits, and RBI, second in slugging, home runs, and third in doubles and walks. We just talked about Iowa's pitching. How consistent are they going to have to be this weekend to get past them?
I feel like a broken record now. We've said it week 1 with Indiana. They were the top team of the conference, top 10 of the country. Illinois was the hottest team in baseball coming in, having won 15 straight. And now you got Ohio State, who's hitting the heck out of the ball. They've won 19 games. Only them and Indiana in the conference right now have won 19 games. And they've been able to do it with their offense. So it'll be kind of interesting to see with the weather this weekend. It's supposed to be cold, not a real nice weekend to play baseball. What's going to happen is going to favor the pitching staff, obviously, with that weather out there. But yet, we'll see. I was hoping to be able to get all 3 of those in. But, again, it's a situation where you're going to have to be able to limit their scoring. Starting pitching's been really good, and see if those starting pitchers can't come up big against Ohio State. Yeah, and, I mean, you just touched on it. That weather has been awful for the guys. You know, you had that Illinois when you're watching it on BTN, and it's snowing on them. And then this week, obviously, it gets pushed back, so it's now Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So, I mean, they all said we're going to have to play harder in the weather. It's going to be rough, but you have to play to it. So, but that is it for us in the sports studio. We have games Saturday, Sunday, and then finish up at 4 p.m. on Monday. Guys, I'll throw it back over to you.
Each Friday, we here at DITV are proud to bring in the ICAC Animal of the Week. This is reserved for that one special animal at the Animal Care and Adoption Center who's ready to meet their new family.
This week, we brought you not just 1, but 2 kittens, the cutest of brothers, Tweedle and Dee. Tweedle and Dee are domestic short-hair cats. They were found as strays and have been with ICAC since November. The 2 adjust to new people slowly, so they will be good with a family without children or other pets.
The 2 are very independent and prefer playtime over petting, climbing, pouncing, and napping are their favorite ways to pass time.
Both Tweedle and Dee are neutered and litter box trained.
For more information on Tweedle, Dee, and all the other pets up for adoption, visit the ICAC website, call them at their phone number, or stop by to find your family's next best friend. And that's a wrap on this Friday morning edition of DITV.
For more news from Monday through Friday, check out dailyiowan.com for all your latest news.
Our print edition of the Daily Iowan is on stands now, so be sure to pick up your copy.
And to start off our weekend, we'll have more Tweedle and Dee from DITV. I'm Susanna Closter.
And I'm Becca Scadden. Have yourself a great weekend, Iowa City.